productive meeting/workshops, if you will. One, I want to say hats off to Councilman Stephen Costello. We had a core service workshop meeting last week. It lasted a long time. Very, very contentious, some of the items that we discussed. And some people, we all bring our own flavors to the meeting, but I do seriously believe that the highest level of knowledge is reasoning, point, counterpoint. That's how we advance forward on these issues. And when I watched Councilman Costello manage that, and we all peers in the room, and he managed that, I want to say, Stephen, you demonstrated clearly, professionalism, leadership skills, and I saw you draw on your business man's hat also. So thank you, did a really good job there. The other thing is the ad hoc committee on the charter review. The Mayor Pro Tem, Gonzalez. It's not easy trying to manage, people that, we all have egos, we all have, we got elected, so we must know everything because we got elected. And we push forward and we espouse points of view, and you have citizens watching, and everybody wants to be heard. And I think that the Mayor Pro Tem did just a yeoman's job of making sure everyone was heard, citizens involved, and allowed the conversation to flow. In my view, it's almost never good to stifle discussion or cut off discussion. Let people flush it out and say what they need to say. And we will get to a point where either you kind of agree or disagree, or you can be amicable. Because I believe that if people come to the room in good faith, they come to the room in good faith and have a discussion, you can find amicable terms. I firmly believe that. Now, I heard on the news, round two, on the news yesterday, or the day before, was announced, Mayor, that a meeting confer agreement had been reached with the police union. And I think that the officers now are in the process of going, they have to vote on it, so they're going through their process over there to vote on it. I would ask that council receive a copy of that agreement sooner than later so we can start reviewing it also and getting ready for our vote. The other thing I would hope to see in that agreement is incentive pay offered for police officers who volunteer to live in designated zip codes, because there's clearly a nexus between an officer's cultural competence and the officer's ability to assess threats and potential risks to their lives. And one way to move forward and enhance that police-citizen relationship is to get officers who live in certain neighborhoods. And I don't think that we should require officers to live in any place. I do not support that. But I believe in incentives and rewards. I do believe that. And for officers who want to relocate to certain neighborhoods, because we offer incentives that the city designate as targeted zip codes, I think we should do that. I had more than 24 Houston police officers contact me after I mentioned this, several weeks ago. Actually, it was back December last year. That they thought this was a good idea and they would be interested in it if we were to move forward with that. I don't know how many contacts from citizens and neighborhood presidents and all who thought this is an idea that could work. It actually could get officers who want to be in a neighborhood to become part of that fiber, part of that structure. So I hope that the agreement has this proviso in there, and I know everything is about money. I realize that. But to the extent that we're going to spend approximately $750 million on the police department's budget, we're getting close to that range. We have to be able to find, $10,000 a year above officers' salaries. Again, this is not necessarily a meet and confer item. It can be and could have been if it has not been an item. I think this is just one thing that we need to do to move forward in the way of trying to bridge the very delicate relationship, and fragile, I should say, relationship between our Houston police officers and many of our law-abiding citizens in certain neighborhoods there. I did some research. Out of the 5,300 Houston police officers, 57%, or 3,000 of them, are not Houston residents. 3,000 are not Houston residents. About 2,300 are Houston residents. That's about 43% are Houston residents. So I think we have an obligation to do everything that we can to help bridge and mend and address the concerns for the citizens who still feel that they need enhanced relationship and understanding with the officers who provide services in the area. And I'd be remiss if I didn't say, top notch to Chief Charles McClellan. Chuck, I know that it's a difficult task over there, and you're able to succeed and get a grade of an A from me because of the men and women of the Houston Police Department, classified and civilian, because they're out there, they're doing a yeoman's job. I commend them. I commend the commentary in the news that in the meeting conferred package, there's an effort to raise officers' pay, because we were $10,000 salary behind the other major cities in Texas, and we shouldn't let that happen. We should be embarrassed by that. Houston police officers should be the best paid in the state of Texas, and we should be competitive any place in America. So thanks to the city's team, and thanks to the HPOU's team for the negotiation efforts. But I do hope in that package somebody took seriously this much worthy idea of incentive pay for officers who volunteer to live in certain zip codes as designated by the city of Houston. Thank you.
Council Member, at the